It might have generated hundreds of thousands of hits online, but it's most certainly not a hit at Gainesville High School. Tonight on the TV20 News at 6, team coverage on the inflammatory video made by 2 students.
An investigation is now completed in Marion County, and a cause of death is determined. A series of chain events that caused an explosion at a horse farm.
Well, the motives were clear, but the timing wasn't. A business sign in Marion County is turning one community's mourning period into anger and frustration. Those stories and more, the TV20 News at 6 starts now.
Now, from your local source, TV20 News at 6 in high definition.
Good evening. The new concern tonight at Gainesville High School is safety in the wake of a racist rant YouTube video made by 2 students that went viral.
Security was beefed up at GHS, and there were no problems reported today. But TV20's Kristen Giannis reports live. Emotions are running high.
David Page, it is amazing what one YouTube video can do. Here at Gainesville High School, a 14-minute racist rant produced by 2 girls has their 1,800 classmates talking and is being viewed by people all over the world.
According to most of the kids on campus, they're not welcome here anymore.
But this duo's YouTube moment is far from over.
We use actual words. Black people do not.
This goes on for 14 minutes. A racist rant on African Americans by 2 Gainesville High School students has their entire school talking.
I was like, are you serious?
The racism is just wrong, in my opinion. I don't like that.
And neither do school administrators.
The students are leaving Gainesville High School and will not be students here.
Principal David Shellnut says the video was first brought to his attention on Wednesday during lunchtime.
There's no place for that in the Alachua County public school system, and in my opinion, no place for that in society in general.
The girls don't stop with comments toward their classmates. They go on to insult the Gainesville Police Department, whose officers are now protecting them from death threats.
Both of the females that are seen in the video have received death threats. Their families have been threatened.
8 officers have been placed on campus, and others are patrolling the girls' neighborhoods.
They probably would have gotten beat up if they were still here, just because, I mean, there probably would have been white people jumping them.
But the video hasn't caused any fights or arguments on this campus so far.
We don't do racism in this school. We're all one in this way.
There's no greater storm than the hurricanes, and this isn't going to break us down. This isn't going to pull us apart. We don't let 2 people speak for 1,000 people. That's not how we do.
Principal David Shellnut says there have been no problems on campus so far, and next week there are a few events scheduled for Black History Month. Reporting in front of Gainesville High School, Kristen Giannis, TV20 News.
The mean-spirited and bitter words spoken by the girls in the racist rant led to plenty of additional words at school today. It started with a faculty meeting, then a school-wide announcement that the girls would not be coming back.
And online, there have been numerous responses to the rant, some even questioning how the girls could get away with it. But TV20's Kyla Ryan tells us why this video is protected.
Thanks, David Page. A First Amendment expert says the teens probably had no idea the video would go viral. But now that it has, what are the consequences? Just because you can say what you want, does that mean you should?
Totally protected, even though it's offensive and disagreeable.
Offensive, but after watching the 14-minute rant on YouTube, Clay Calvert at the University of Florida says the students were well within their rights to engage in this type of speech, rights the Supreme Court recently solidified.
The Supreme Court made that clear this last term when it decided a case called Snyder versus Phelps, which involved the Westboro Baptist Church. And the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Westboro Baptist Church, even though they engaged in anti-gay, anti-family, anti-military speech by protesting outside of the funerals for soldiers killed in Iraq and Afghanistan.
The central point here is that the video was recorded at the teens' home on their own time and not at Gainesville High.
In general, high school students have fewer speech rights than adults, but that occurs when they are on campus or under school supervision, such as a field trip or a class play, those types of events. But when students are off campus on their own time and when they're not singling out other individual students for attack, then generally they should receive the same First Amendment protections as anybody else.
So they couldn't have been expelled on these grounds, but could these students face legal issues?
This video has obviously upset almost everyone who's viewed it. The girls in the video did not commit a criminal act, and this is not being treated as a criminal investigation.
People are upset, but Calvert says free speech has worked exactly as it should.
By stifling somebody's speech, you don't stifle their beliefs. Here now, actually, we have a benefit, and the benefit is that we all know who these individuals are and what their true feelings and beliefs are.
Calvert added that the video may follow the teens as they try to apply for college. Their names can be easily searched, and this video is not going away. Kyla Ryan, TV20 News.
Gator football player faces a domestic battery charge after allegedly attacking his girlfriend. Freshman tight end A.C. Leonard was arrested last night at his apartment on campus after Gainesville police say he became violent during an argument.
Grabbed her by her hair, drug her through the apartment in an attempt to get her outside. After she was able to fight him off, he then grabbed her by both feet, drug her outside, and locked her out of the apartment.
In the arrest report, the police officer stated he saw injuries on the woman, backing up her claims that she was pushed and dragged. She has minor injuries.
Well, the temperatures continue to rise as we make our way through the work week, and it's pretty warm still tonight.
We did get a little bit of rain today, Bill. Was it really, though, enough to do any good?
You know, we had a little bit here. The good news is because of the cloud cover, we tend not to lose all that moisture that we get when we have clear skies. Now, we will see still fairly mild temperatures for the next couple of days, but then a little bit of cooler air coming in by the beginning of next week. Take a look at what we have out there for this evening on the sky cam. The clouds looking a little ominous at times. You can see a few showers coming off of these clouds. They are moving very quickly, but also breaking up a little bit as we head through the latter part of the day and the early evening hours. Now, there are some more showers back out in the Gulf of Mexico. As you look at the storm vision radar, it's been relatively quiet throughout most of this afternoon. And if you look way out to the west, you can see some shower and thunderstorm activity, and that will continue over the next couple of hours, building up more. So as we head overnight, we'll be watching this area of possible rain moving in and then getting in here through the early part of tomorrow. Hour by hour forecast, temperatures only getting into the middle 60s by midnight tonight. Very summer-like conditions, which will lead to some more rain tomorrow. More on that in your forecast in just a few minutes.
He died of natural causes. The Jonesville teenager, who apparently fell to his death in a quarry last year, actually died of a brain hemorrhage. The medical examiner's office released Christian Rhodes' autopsy today. They found that a non-traumatic hemorrhage led to a natural manner of death. Rhodes had left home for a run in his neighborhood when he disappeared in mid-June. It took searchers several hours to find his body, which had fallen as much as 80 feet into a quarry.
Blunt force and thermal injuries are the cause of the explosion that killed a horse and an employee at the Horse Rehab Center in Ocala. Last Friday at the Kesmark Farm Center, Erica Marshall was taking a horse in for treatment in a hyperbaric chamber. While inside, the horse started to kick inside the oxygen-filled chamber, exposing raw metal and then creating sparks that in turn caused the explosion. Investigators in Marion County have now closed this case. The mother of a 13-year-old child who was beaten unconscious while riding her bus to school in Marion County has hired a lawyer. Attorney Daniel Hightower will be looking into the possible responsibility of the parents of the juveniles who were arrested, as well as the Marion County School District. Hightower went on to say that residents deserve to know that when the county's children get on a school bus or enter a school, they have reasonable steps been taken to keep the children safe.
It was a crash so violent that it split a car in two. 3 young men died, 2 others were badly hurt. But TV20's Natalia Martinez reports that just as families begin to grieve, a nearby business sign has some residents furious.
This is what stands at the site where 3 men, all under 24, died this weekend. The car crash uprooting this tree and splitting their car in 2.
Especially seeing them that same day and then they're like gone. There's no turning back. Michael
Ramdahal, Taylor Scanlon, and Eric Baker died at the site. Andrew Prasad and Nicholas Bryan are still at Shands, recovering from serious injuries.
5 of them they was very close friends. They was always together. That was their crew, you know.
Ramdahal was laid to rest today, but in the midst of their grief, one business sign has inflicted anger. The sign at Hercules Fence, just a couple of miles before the crash site, reads, Mary Camp Dragway ahead. Awards given at C25. Radar is now in use. Wear seatbelts. Now, the company has put up controversial signs in the past, citing their freedom of speech. But with 3 young men dead, some say this sign is just uncalled for and disrespectful.
Who makes fun of somebody's child getting killed? You know, somebody's child, somebody's brother, even somebody's friend. Who makes fun of that?
The sign was vandalized earlier this week. The business owner wouldn't go on camera to explain it, but one nearby business owner told me she wasn't offended by it.
Then after I thought about it,
He probably is referencing the accident. But it is, I mean, a lot of people do speed all the way out there.
Still, other friends told us that no matter what the sign says, nothing will bring their friends back. In Ocala, Natalia Martinez, TV20 News.
State troopers say that high speed may have been a factor in the crash, but did not confirm whether the men were in fact racing or not. Well, stay tuned. More news to come when we come back.
And then a little later, Chris Price will join us with one of America's favorite pastimes, that's NASCAR. This is your news at 6.